Hey, welcome to Tuesday Coffee Break with me, Michael Coffee. And I just wanted to talk to you a little bit today about a new series that we're starting that talks about how to build firm trust. And FIRM is an acronym for forming, increasing, restoring, and multiplying trust as a leader. So as my team and I prepare each week for these coffee break talks, we often consider what is most commonly occurring in coaching conversations throughout the weeks. And one of the things that comes up over and over again for probably the 16 years that I have coached with leaders is the topic of trust. So that's what we're going to be talking about over the next few weeks. Now, in 1999, Dr. Peter Drucker, who was almost prophetic in a lot of his writings, wrote, "Organizations are no longer built on force, but on trust." And so that forms a little bit the foundation of what we're going to be talking about. Now, in preparing for Coffee Break this time, I decided to reach out to my LinkedIn network, and I decided to ask one simple question. Now, here's the deal, right? There was no video, there was no catchy picture. There was nothing on my post except a couple of sentences. It was a request to give me some feedback on some research I'm doing, which was the research I'll use in these coffee break talks. And it was one question, and here was my one question. I asked, if trust is not formed, what becomes impossible? Now, within seconds of posting it, I got a reply. And then after that, I had multiple replies from multiple people. And so I wanted to share their responses to that question, and that'll help shape up the why of this series. So let me share with you. So the first comment was from Ro, and he said, transparent collaboration. The next person shared, collaboration, respect, honest communication, constructive criticism, long-term success, team development, cohesion. Jason shared that these were all impossible without trust. Elise shared that effective and timely problem solving and risk mitigation is impossible without trust. She went on to say, no one shares the issues out of fear until the problems can't be hidden, and at that point, the options to fix are limited or even non-existent. Kristen shared that honest communication and vulnerability are impossible without trust. Jessica said safety. Deanna said respect. Wendy said true connection. Ada said without trust, intent becomes clouded and it becomes impossible to grow relationships. The next person shared it becomes impossible to take off the mask. That was Karen. Bob said authentic relationships are impossible. Darla said honest, transparent communication with mutual respect are impossible. And then Jay said without trust, everything is slowed down. See, without trust, people might give you compliance motivated by fear. They might even give you performance motivated by a self-preservation. But these are not substitutes for forming trust. Trust forms the foundation of everything else that happens in a relationship and also on a team. Since all leadership begins with self-leadership, let's begin with us. I have a few questions I want you to consider. Question one, as you think about forming trust and self-leadership, I want you to ask yourself, what can you trust yourself for? Can you trust yourself to be collaborative? Can you trust yourself to take the mask off and be honest and anchored to reality? Can you trust yourself to communicate with mutual respect? What are the things that you can trust yourself for? The second question that I have for you is, where do you need to form trust intentionally within yourself? In other words, what are the areas where you need to increase that trust, building it a little bit stronger, forming it a little bit more securely, more foundationally? Might there be areas from this list of my LinkedIn connections that you need to increase that trust and form that trust more fully? And then the third question is this: what will you intentionally do this week to further form self-trust? What are some practices you can be putting into place? Very practical things you can do. Ralph Waldo Emerson says this: self-trust is the first secret of success, the essence of heroism. This idea of being a hero really is rooted and grounded in trust. And as you think about really your leadership journey and the things you're trying to accomplish as a leader, how will trusting yourself and forming that trust more deeply help you to accomplish that? Now, as your trustworthiness within yourself is increased, we want to just take a brief look at others, and I want to give you a few additional questions to consider. What can others trust you for? When you think about the people around you, maybe someone you report up to or the people that report up to you, what can they really trust you for? Where do you need to form trust more fully with others? What are the areas where you can increase that trust and form it more fully? And the third question is, what can you intentionally do over this next month to further trust with others? Stephen M. R. Covey, author of The Speed of Trust, says, simply put, trust means confidence. Intentionally forming trust builds confidence within yourself and with others. We would love for you to join us over the next bunch of weeks as we continue to talk about developing this firm trust. Please leave a comment, like, or share. And until next time, be well, lead well, and do well.